one quick reaction. Well, what would your reaction be to somebody who said, listen, who wants to see a sequel of the thing? Do you think it's a correct term, a sequel?
I think the thing is an original film. It's based on a short story called Who Goes There by John Campbell. And I know the original movie, The Thing from Another World, made in 1951, was taken from the short story, but really it didn't have much to do with it. So it's a different film.
It seems to me that the film deals a great deal with paranoia.
Yeah, it's what the film is about.
It really transcends the specificness of the monster, for instance, right?
Yeah, the specificness of the creature, the reality of the creature is there to make you believe it. Oh, it is true. Oh, it is real. God, it is weird. But the movie is about who is it? Who goes there? Which one of us is a creature and which one of us is human?
Now, I can imagine having seen this film. If I were 11 years old and my mother wouldn't let me see this film, I'd be really angry, because I know that at 11 years old I could handle this. Do you think this is a good film for kids that age, even though it's rated R? They're going to get it in anyway.
11 years old? I think that I could look at it from a parent's point of view, but I'd rather look at it from a kid's point of view. If I was 11 years old, I'd give anything to see this film. I'd want to see it immediately and probably go back again to see it. As a parent, I would say to myself, this is a scary movie. Now, is my child impressionable? Is it going to bother him? Or is he going to understand that it is a film? It's a fantasy, and it's not meant to be real. And this is something for enjoyment, much like a roller coaster is for enjoyment.
I have to believe, and tell me if I'm incorrect, that when you make a film like this, you have to be concerned, again, this is my term, you have to be concerned with limits of grossness. For instance, I mean, is there a point where you say, listen, we just can't see anymore? For instance, I'm talking about cutting up a finger, for instance. Instead of using a reaction shot, giving it to us in a close-up, and the taking out of the intestines and so forth. It's an open-ended question, but do you...
Well, the specifics you mention are there for reasons, for dramatic reasons. Again, when you're making a monster movie, it's like all forms of cinema that are extremely difficult. You're making a movie about something that is not real, that is out of the imagination, and you have to make it with really specific things. And what I wanted the film to have from beginning to end was a sense of realism. And rather than cut away from the scenes you're talking about, I showed them. I don't think there's anything gory or bloody in the thing. I don't think there's anything that's too strong for an audience, but I think that the sense of the movie, of the entirety of it, is one of, there is, in fact, this thing in our midst, and we have to treat it seriously.
You certainly must have had a problem in trying to decide when to introduce us to the creature for the first time.
Well, I pretty much knew from the script and the way it was structured out that there was no time before the kennel sequence when I could show you, because to set up the fact that this thing can imitate other life forms, you have to be with the men for a while.
I can imagine, knowing the high school and the college level mentality, that a lot of kids the word's going to get around that they should see this film stoned. Personally, I'm repelled by that. I like to think that if you can see that, or a rock concert or anything, you can see it, or listen to it on your own. How do you react to that?
I don't know. I think that probably started back with the film 2001. When I was going to college in film school, I know a lot of my friends said, well, let's go see it stoned, you know. It's much more fun because you can enjoy the light show on a different level. Well, yeah, nah, who wants to do that? Go see it straight. That's what I say.
Okay, so something else, there are some situations, many areas in the country, including ours, where the thing is not going to be played in Dolby.
That's too bad. That's too bad. Why not?
My opinion is that, I don't even think it's an opinion, they figure that the audience isn't going to know the difference anyway.
I know. And I think this is something that is affecting the movie business. In order to compete with everything that's going on, cable, television, part of the experience of a movie is its sound. And when you hear this film in Dolby Stereo, you'll never forget it. It's a strong soundtrack.
Could you, for the benefit of the layman in the audience, can you define Dolby, or at least explain what Dolby does?
Dolby is a noise reduction system. It basically gives you, in sound there's high end, there's middle range, and there's low end. And a normal soundtrack that is a monaural soundtrack, optical soundtrack, is about, we say, a band of this wide. Now, Dolby is this wide. So there's more information on there. You hear high end, low end. It's much more real. If you go to your record player and you put on a monaural record, well, you hear it one way, but you listen to a stereo and you get a sense of size. Basically, it's noise reduction stereo is what it means.
Well, it's really too bad, though, that again, the people can't see it. It's almost like listening to a stereo record on an old hi-fi record player.
That's basically it. It's really up to the theaters themselves, the exhibitors. If they want to put in a Dolby system, they can. It's, of course, expensive for them. They have to put in several speakers. But the experience of watching a movie, well, look at Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Empire Strikes, but they're Dolby stereo movies. And part of the experience of those films is the sound.
Not seeing it or not hearing it correctly really is not feeling the picture in its entirety.
It's not feeling it. It is, though, because we mix the film also in monaural, specifically for the theaters that can't handle Dolby stereo. We mix it in monaural. It's more limited. Let me put it that way to you. It's like you're saying stereo records. Go to see it in a Dolby theater.
The most difficult challenge you had in making the thing?
Realism. Everything, acting, locations, the monster, everything presented is real. Making a monster movie comes down to some simple basics that you have to face as a director. What are we going to end up with? A man in a suit, hiding in the shadows, jumping out with big teeth and a grotesque face? No, we shouldn't do that. Let's do something different. Let's take a subject that we're all familiar with, Monsters from Outer Space, and take it as far as it's ever gone. And make the audience believe that this is happening. And that's what we try to do.
Well, the most important thing involved, I think, is being able to tell a story, and that's one thing I think you do very well, is
Thank you.
Tell a story.
That's the basis of any film, actually, if you want to know the truth. The story is the whole thing. The play is the thing. I've heard that before.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.